I don't really talk about that. I just
Well, why not? What's wrong with you?
I don't really talk about my personal life.
Rather than encouraging meaningful communication, some interviewers become toxic.
Is this what you think girls have trouble choosing between?
Yeah.
By asking personality intrusive or improper questions.
Your relationship with your father and the role of all of that.
Such moments put celebrities in a pickle, where they have to strike a careful line between remaining level-headed while also calling out disrespect directly.
I refuse your question.
Why?
Because I refuse your question. I'm not your slave and you're not my master.
Shutting down nasty questions sends a signal that they have their personal boundaries as well that shouldn't be crossed.
Here's the thing, Peter. You're stepping over a line now. You're stepping over a line. You know you are.
Let's take a start. Robert Downey Jr. In what began as a lively discussion about Avengers, in the film Avengers: Age of Ultron, Robert Downey Jr. had an interview with the Channel 4's Krishnan Guru Murthy about Iron Man and the aspects of the character. Downey spoke the best on Tony Stark's created heroism, his silly but noble effort to disband the Avengers with Ultron, and how the character underwent change in terms of responsibility and redemption. He also pondered on the cultural change effected by superheroes.
Do you feel you have to carry the Iron Man movies in a way that you don't?
It just comes down, it's just a matter of schedule. I mean, when you...
Nevertheless, the tone of the conversation got harsher when Guru Murthy started questioning Downey about his history of alcohol and drug abuse, imprisonment, and his dad.
Your relationship with your father and the role of all of that in...
When asked if the conflicted relationship with his father was the reason of his darker days, Downey showed clear discomfort, but did not lose his cool.
Well, I think we've got 3 more minutes on our agreement.
Your foot's starting to jump a little bit. You better get to your next question.
He then tried to steer the conversation back to the movie in an apparent reminder of the interview process the interviewer has taken him through. Are we advertising a movie here?
Are we promoting a movie? To me, the thing is that I'm certainly not going to...
Still, the interviewer went on trying to dig into Downey's biography, asking him more questions about his personal history. When the questions got rather personal, Downey decided to bring the interview to a halt, smiling and saying, "I think that's enough."
Or whether that's still something...
I'm sorry, I really don't... what are we doing?
Well, I'm just asking questions, that's all.
Right.
Okay.
Bye.
It also focused on how business and personal issues differ slightly and could be a gentle reminder to celebrities that they too have rights to live their lives without further scrutiny. Taylor Swift. In an interview on The Jonathan Ross Show, Taylor Swift was, as usual, very uncomfortable when asked about her affairs.
I don't really talk about that. I just
Well, why not? What's wrong with you?
I don't really talk about my personal life because it's sort of like...
An aspect she has always complained about. As would be expected, the young singer kept her cool even when the conversation turned to her love and relationship history.
But if this guy you're with at the moment, say, if it turns out to be just a happy relationship, then that kind of ends...
Don't ask me that question. The question makes me so sad.
Which has often been exploited by the media. But instead of addressing it as a personal issue, she turned the narrative into humor with grace. Often she tries to avoid such questions and change the topic, saying she is busy with work, recent creative projects, or personal development as a person, and she doesn't want to be labeled as someone who is in a relationship. This time she was able to state what she wanted without arguing and shutting down with sweetness to disarm his aggression. Through ignoring the questions about her love life, Swift continued her position of focusing on boundaries and changing the image of female musicians in the media. Her approach is a good lesson on how women in the public eye should be given dignity for their privacy and given the liberty to direct an interview towards their career. Rihanna. The beautiful singer was interviewed by Natalie Barr, and in the interview with Sunrise, Rihanna talked about being featured in the movie Battleship. The conversation started on a positive note, with Rihanna explaining how she had ventured into acting and how she enjoyed the experience on the set and would like to do more movies in the future. Interviewed about the rumors of her participating in a biopic, she expressed admiration of the late Whitney Houston and said that the experience can be intense but significant as she appreciates Houston's talent. However, things changed when Barr starts discussing Rihanna's personal issues, recent media gossip about her affairs with Ashton Kutcher and her equally notorious ex-boyfriend Chris Brown.
Yeah, you don't like going there.
I mean, what's the point?
Yeah. Well, people are interested in you. You're a big star.
When asked how frustrating it was to be linked to other celebrities despite barely knowing them, Rihanna's response was direct. As irritating as being asked about it. With that, she squarely dismissed that line of questioning, which indicated that she refused to be drawn into discussions about her personal life. The interview ended soon after, with Rihanna not tolerating conversations about her work to be shifted and distracted by gossips about her personal life. The intervention became an internet sensation and started conversations about how female celebrities are asked about their romantic relationships and not their accomplishments. Their calm but assertive response further supported Rihanna's decision to protect her personal sphere and stay focused on her career. Robert Pattinson. During an on-air with Ryan Seacrest interview at the premiere of The Twilight Saga, New Moon, Robert Pattinson looked comfortable when talking about the strange feeling of the fans' reception of the franchise. He pondered the fact that he had to admit that it felt like being surrounded by the Twilight Zone to see them camping out for days.
Stumble into every role. I think you've locked into a rhythm now, would you say?
Of stumbling?
No, of figuring it out.
I hope so. I hope so.
And then he felt the pressure to perform as expected by those fans. Despite having just reached international fame and the adoring fans that come with it, or rather because of it, Pattinson was still delicately tentative in his self-professed acting career. But the tone of the interview changed when, during a question about Pattinson's rumored romance with his Twilight co-star Kristen Stewart, Ryan Seacrest asked a question.
Please people as much as you can at these things when they've waited outside for 5 days.
And then the bar is raised with something like this phenomenon, isn't it?
Yeah, and you do feel like...
Seacrest tried digging into the highly speculated subject, and Pattinson, who was obviously caught off guard, responded immediately, only for his publicist to do what any good publicist would do and finish up the interview.
What do you say to your fans who are desperate to know?
So they can tell, I can tell them to watch New Moon because it's a fantastic movie.
Shortly after, Pattinson swiftly redirected the conversation back to promote the movie, thanking Seacrest as he left. This moment illustrated how many celebrities balance their press interviews, especially during big events which hugely the focus turns to the person and their life instead of job-related issues. It also highlighted how delicate publicists are when it comes to questions that are invasive, especially during such crucial events such as movie premieres, where events surrounding the project and none of the star's personal affair must feature. Ariana Grande. During this interview, Ariana Grande impressively answered a number of questions, which began frivolously but became openly rude. At some point, one of the radio hosts posed before her two options, makeup or a phone, in which Ariana promptly dismissed the presumptuous question by saying, "Is this what you think girls have a problem with?"
Your makeup or your phone.
Is this what you think girls have trouble choosing between?
Yeah.
She explained how such questions continue to perpetrate gender prejudices, and then went on to sample a few of the trivial concerns, like how a woman might be consumed with wanting to fix her hair or checking her phone all the time. As much as the hosts tried to explain why they asked this question and go back to laughter,
Not a question.
Can you really go anywhere without your cell phone?
Yes.
How long can you go without looking?
Ariana was alert and kept questioning their presumptions. She stood her ground by reminding him the need to be socially present, be attentive, not to stare at the screens, but avoid being on snippets all the time.
Is this men assuming that that's what girls would have to choose between?
Now,
To sum up, Ariana did not quit the whole interview, but she was able to notice sexism in the questions asked by the hosts and laughed at it in a smart manner.
When I'm at a dinner table, I like to be present and talking.
Good quality.
Eye contact.
Ladies, learn.
This assertive but polite attitude enabled her to redirect the conversation to stereotyping and gender expectations, stating that she will not accept discrimination or prejudice. Quentin Tarantino. During an interview, Quentin Tarantino interrupts an interview with Krishnan Guru Murthy, who insists on questioning the director about the connection between movie violence and real-life violence.
But why are you so sure that there's no link between enjoying movie violence and enjoying real violence?
The interview opens with questions on the themes of the movie and violence, And the latter, Tarantino responds by asserting that cathartic violence is a requisite in most movies. However, when the interviewer continues to pressure him about whether watching films can affect behavior, and especially that featuring violence, he becomes irate and says, "I refuse your question. You are not my master. I am not your slave."
I refuse your question.
Why?
Because I refuse your question. I'm not your slave and you're not my master.
He goes out of his way to explain that he doesn't have to reiterate things that he has said publicly for 20-plus years, which includes saying, "It's none of your damn business what I think about that."
It's none of your damn business what I think about that.
Though pushed by the interviewer, Tarantino keeps reinforcing his refusal to talk about a subject. He has apparently run out of words for before turning on him and accusing him of manipulating the conversation with ratings in mind. Ellen DeGeneres. This interview is from Mariah Carey's appearance at the Ellen DeGeneres Show in 2008, where Ellen tried to make her say something about recent pregnancy rumors by presenting her a glass of champagne.
All right, well, you don't have to answer.
No, that's okay. No, honestly,
you don't have to answer me. Let's just toast with champagne.
From the video, Ellen decided to provoke the singer in an awkward manner when she told her to toast to you not being pregnant and forced her to take a sip from the wine.
Let's toast to you not being pregnant. If you're not pregnant, then we should.
Oh, my goodness.
Instead of denying the rumors, Mariah, who is known to be graceful, tries to tackle the situation maturely and with some jokes and a halt before responding.
It's too early for me. Yeah. I only drink it after 3 p.m.
Yeah.
She does this to downplay the pressure while toasting, but she remains shrouded in mystery, contrary to the public display.
You're pregnant. You're pregnant.
No.
It resurfaced on social media recently when many fans have been debating Ellen's conduct on the show, calling her actions too intrusive. This aspect of the show demonstrates how celebrities sometimes receive rather invasive questions about their private lives, and yet, Mariah was able to effectively shut down the questioning without further escalating the situation. Samuel L. Jackson. In this interview, Samuel L. Jackson is hilariously able to shut down a reporter who gets himself confused and mistook him for Lawrence Fishburne.
Working for Marvel, the Super Bowl commercial, did you get a lot of reaction to that Super Bowl commercial?
What Super Bowl commercial?
Samuel takes a second when the interviewer sings his praises for something not his Super Bowl commercial performance, and humorously yet firmly explains, "Hey, I'm not Lawrence Fishburne, man."
Right.
I'm not Lawrence Fishburne.
That's my fault. I know that. That was my...
There is something striking about how he responds in such a situation with a joke as he's still professional. When he sees a mistake made, rather than escalating the issue, he quickly uses a light-hearted approach and fixes the mistake, making it memorable.
I know. My mistake. I apologize.
This is a perfect example of how a celebrity has to deal with disrespectful or careless questions. Tom Hardy. During this press conference for Legend, Tom Hardy was asked a very invasive question about his sexual orientation by a representative of an LGBT news outlet.
Do you find it hard for celebrities to talk to media about their sexuality?
The reporter established this relation between Hardy's portrayal of the bisexual character Ronnie Cray in the movie and previous interviews where comments made by Hardy regarding bisexuality had been interpreted as seemingly bisexual.
I don't find it difficult for celebrities to talk about their sexuality.
Hardy, though, stayed calm and unyielding. It was evident that the question was not wanted and unnecessary. He gracefully shut down the inquiry without emerging hostile.
Are you asking me about my sexuality?
Sure.
Why?
Why?
Thank you.
Okay.
Reaffirming his position on keeping the privacy of these sorts of things. Hardy's professionalism and the way he dealt with an uncomfortable question with poise was the moment that was on display. Tom Cruise. In this interview, Tom Cruise was being interviewed by Peter Overton about previous marriage issues, particularly the marriage between him and Nicole Kidman. Tom politely replied and even said that Nicole was significant to his life, but the interviewer went on to ask more questions and theories about the couple and their current status.
Was Nicole the love of your life?
What do you mean, Peter?
You were married for 10 years.
Listen, we raised children.
Overton came in and asked Cruise if Nicole is the love of his life, as well as whether they still speak, and not just about their child. This altered Cruise's attitude. He remained calm, but became firm, saying to Overton, "You're stepping over a line now."
Professionally about each other's
Why
work.
don't we, listen, here's the thing, Peter.
Yeah.
You're stepping over a line now. You're stepping over a line, you know you are.
Tom, however, did not laugh at the situation, thus responding to the interviewer and demanding him to put his manners back in. The interviewer admitted he did wrong and apologized, so one can clearly see that while Tom was assertive, he was successful in readjusting the line which was crossing and did not have to become aggressive to do so. David Letterman. In an interview which was shown on The Late Show with David Letterman, Lindsay Lohan had to go through a series of questions that, starting from being amusing, turned rather embarrassing.
I've gone through a lot in life, and I'm looking forward to actually just taking time for me.
She had come on the show to talk about her new film and other matters that are business-related in the acting industry. The most shocking moment was when Letterman snapped, "Aren't you supposed to be in rehab now?"
Aren't you supposed to be in rehab now?
Surprised, Lohan tried to stay calm, and she also tried to change the topic of the conversation towards her projects. Nonetheless, she appeared uncomfortable. Letterman persisted with more questions about rehab, alcoholism, and hate and ridicule she received. Whereas, rather than responding to Letterman's jokes, Lohan tried to change the conversation to her movie, which proved that she had no desire to upset him. Jim Carrey. During New York Fashion Week in 2017, this reporter had an interesting and rather bizarre encounter with Jim Carrey. The opportunity to interview Carrey ended in failure. However, he wasn't concerned about that at all. He said he was there because he wanted to be in the utterly meaningless event. Such statements as, "There's no meaning to any of this," and "celebrating icons."
Find the most meaningless thing that I could come to and join.
Boy, that is just the absolute lowest aiming possibility that we could come up with, that symbolized his existence at that period of his life.
I mean, you gotta admit it's completely meaningless.
Even though the reporter insisted on bringing the focus back to the event and its goal, Carrey was unimpressed, which only proved his disappointment in the idea of celebrity-oriented events. Carrey, however, later explained that his behavior stemmed from his private state crisis, where he tormented himself with ideas of pop culture, identity, and reality. Anne Hathaway. In an interview for The Dark Knight Rises promoting Morgan's film, Anne Hathaway faced an array of questions concerning her training and body shape in preparation for Catwoman. The interviewer appeared to be preoccupied with her looks and inquired about her exercise regimen and the foods she ate. To the first message, Hathaway replied politely and said that her regimen included the standard practice of tracking her diet.
What is the feline fitness?
A lot. It's all the boring stuff that no one ever wants to do.
But as the interrogation went on, she got annoyed, although she did not show it through words. But she changed the subject and pointed at the line of questioning, asserting that it was irrelevant. Her reply was sharp, but hilarious, pointing out the childish nature of such questions, thereby expressing her disapproval in the way most of the media was more concerned with her weight than what she did for a living, or her acting skills. Winona Ryder. In one of The Wired's autocomplete interview segments for Stranger Things, Winona Ryder and David Harbour were responding to Google search suggestions on them. One of the questions asked was about Harbour's weight, to which Harbour replied in the same spirit and democratically noting that he was large, mentioning his size and weight.
Harbour, what is up with Wired and size?
We just discussed
literally.
But then, Winona Ryder immediately scolded that and said to Harbour, "That is mean," before immediately comforting him. "You're beautiful." Her response was that she felt uneasy about it and stood up for her co-partner, thereby sending a positive signal to people with big or fat bodies that nobody should discuss or joke about their size. Scarlett Johansson. During a press interview for The Avengers, Scarlett Johansson was asked about her diet and workout routine in a way that bordered on invasive and sexist, particularly focusing on her body and underwear choices under the Black Widow suit. Instead of letting the question slide, Johansson shot back with a pointed remark, asking why her male co-stars never seemed to get those same questions. She used humor at first, then calmly made it clear such questions were irrelevant when discussing her professional work and the movie. This moment is often highlighted as an example of a female celebrity directly challenging the double standards in interview settings. Cate Blanchett. While on the red carpet at the 2014 SAG Awards, Cate Blanchett was interrupted mid-sentence by a camera panning up and down her dress. Realizing what the cameraman was doing, she called him out. "Do you do that to the guys?"
The quality of their work, and we'll be assessing them as filmmakers, as we should be.
This short but memorable exchange highlighted the difference in how actresses are treated versus their male counterparts, especially at award shows, where women frequently receive hyper-scrutiny over their looks instead of their work. Blanchett's quick response, delivered with a mixture of humor and mild irritation, underscored how female celebrities can effectively push back against sexist or objectifying behavior. Simone Biles. After withdrawing from certain events during the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, held in 2021, Simone Biles faced a barrage of questions regarding her mental health and whether she was letting the country down. In one press conference, when asked repeatedly about her obligation to compete,
great job, and I didn't want to risk the team a medal for kind of my screw-ups.
Biles emphasized that her mental health was paramount, and she would not jeopardize her well-being for external expectations. She calmly but firmly restated her boundaries, reminding everyone that she is more than just a medal-winning machine. Such interviews make one realize the need to be assertive, to draw the line and defend oneself, while at the same time protect and respect others. Keep watching and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more positive stories and moments that matter. See you in the next video.